welcome back to my channel, friends. My name is Baylee. This is Bagels Books. This video I'm so excited for. So, if you cannot notice my Stranger Things t-shirt, the upside down. If you do not know what Stranger Things is, do you live under a rock? So, Stranger Things is an amazing show on Netflix about these kids who love D&D, running around, doing mischievous things in their town of Hawkins. So, there is a few booktubers doing a readathon in the month of September that is based on Stranger Things. And it's a week-long readathon. I kind of talked about it before, but I'm going to talk about the books I'm going to read, the prompts, and yeah, that's all. The books I'm going to read and their associated prompts. So, the very first prompt, which each prompt is kind of based off of a season. There are 4 seasons, so each prompt is kind of related to that season. So the very first prompt is read a book with lights on the cover. And I'm choosing this book, The Couple Next Door by Shari Lapena. There's kind of a light. Like, there's a light behind the kid, you know? So I'm going to count that. Cheating a little bit, but I chose it because it's so short. And I want to try to read quite a few books in a week. And so I gotta do myself a solid and not pick huge chunkers. So, chose a very small book. I really like Shari Lapena. I've read only one of her books, but I did really like it. And I have quite a few more, and I kind of want to get through them. So, The Couple Next Door. Let's see. It says, Anne and Marco seem to have it all. A loving relationship, a wonderful home, and their beautiful baby Cora. But one night when they are at a dinner party next door, a terrible crime is committed. Suspicion immediately falls on the parents, but the truth is much more complicated. What follows is the nerve-wracking unraveling of a family. The detective knows that the panicked couple is hiding something inside the curtained house. Anne and Marco both soon discover that the other is keeping secrets they've kept for years. The shocking truth will leave you breathless. So, I love me a good thriller. I'm really in the mood for thrillers. I've been reading some weird-ass shit this past month, and I'm just like, kind of over all the stuff I'm trying, and I want to go back to what I love, which are thrillers. So that's why I wanted to read this one. Alright, and the next prompt is read a psychological thriller. And so, the first prompt was related to the first season, and read a book with lights on the cover is because of the lights that were in the home that they put the letters under so that they could talk to Will in the upside down. So that's why the lights was chosen. So on 2, it's read a psychological thriller because in that season, they're dealing with the mind flayer, I believe his name is. Yeah, the mind flayer, and who would like mess with their mind and make them see things they weren't seeing. So that's why the prompt was read a psychological thriller. And so for that one, I'm going to read The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Everybody loves this freaking book. And I haven't read it, mostly because everyone loves it. And I'm afraid that I'm not going to love it because I read her book, I think it's The Hunting Party? Yes, The Hunting Party. And it was fine, but I just didn't love it. So I was like, oh gosh, do I not like her? I don't know. But we're going to find out because everyone says they like this one more than that one. And yeah, so I chose this one because I've been really wanting to read it. Everyone loves it. And I want to read it. Once again, I want to read some thrillers. And the third prompt is read a book with multiple POVs, because in the 3rd season, there was this song from The Neverending Story, and so they kind of just did a nod to that for the 3rd prompt. And so I'm going to count this one as that, so I'm going to double this one up for the prompts because I don't think I could ever possibly read 5 books in 1 week, especially because that week I have to take a test to get my nursing license. So I want to be studying at the beginning of the week, and then when I have to take my licensure exam, I'll be busy taking that exam that day. So I don't have a ton of time to just spend reading all day, every day. I need to study, I need to take my test, I need to get ready to start my new job, so I didn't want to load myself up too much. And so this one has multiple point of views, so it has multiple characters: the bride, the +1, the best man, the wedding planner, and the bridesmaid. So all 5 of those people have their own POV, point of view chapters. And so this one's about a wedding set on this island. I'm pretty sure there's a murder, and they're trying to figure out who did it. and you just get the multiple point of views from all of the guests. So that is what this one's about. Oh, it says an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. So very cool, very cool. All right, and the next prompt is read a book that includes a game or a competition. And so that's because in season 4, it's all they play D&D, like the Hellfire Club. So that's kind of where a game in the book came from. And so for this one, I'm gonna read Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I just picked this book up from like a 50% off table. Oh, I took the sticker off. A 50% off table. I've heard good things about it. And I thought like the carnival aspect would be really cool, but it is a game. And so it's about this girl who got, I believe, it says a legendary competition, a mesmerizing romance, an unbreakable bond between 2 sisters. So they get like this ticket to come to this carnival, and I don't know a whole lot. Yeah, it says, welcome to Caraval. Beware of getting swept too far away. But this one's really big, so I'm kind of nervous about it. But it's YA. The wording's pretty big. There appears to be some pictures. Oh, that's just... Where was it? I just saw a picture. Okay, well, there is a picture in here somewhere. I just saw it flipping through. I'm annoyed. But hopefully, yeah, like this picture. But granted, there are more words on the pictures. But that's okay. I'm very excited for it. But I'm very nervous because of how big it is. So we'll see if I'll be able to finish this one. And for the 5th prompt, it is read a host's buddy read based on their favorite character. So each host of this readathon picked a book based on a character. So my favorite character is Steve because he's the best. I love him. And so Steve's book is The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson. And that is about some kids in the 80s on their bikes, riding around town, telling ghost stories, just kind of like a spooky, fun 80s. So very Stranger Things-esque. So very, very, very excited to read that book. I have that one on an ebook, which I talked about on my book haul. But those are all the books I'm hoping to get to that week. And I do plan on recording it and posting a vlog of my reading that week. But those are those books. Some other books I'd like to get to this month. Just Agatha Christie, The Mysterious Affair at Style. So I'm trying to read at least one book every month from my 5-star predictions so that I can kind of get through those books for you guys and for myself, because obviously I think I'm going to love them, so I want to read them. So I'm going to pick up Agatha Christie. It's smaller. Once again, I've been really, really, really in the mood for some mystery, thriller, those like comfy things for me. I know that sounds weird because it's about death, but I just love a good mystery, a good whodunit. So I'm planning on reading this one. It's the very first one of the Hercule Poirot series, so I'm very excited to get into that. I've never read any of this like series. I've only read that one standalone. So there's that one. And then one more I would like to get to is Local Girl Missing by Claire Douglas. I've never read anything by Claire Douglas. A friend of mine, she just recently moved to Utah and she was getting rid of some books and I saw this in the pile and I was like, that's a thriller. I want it. So I kind of want to get to this one because it's a thriller. Once again, I just want to read so many thrillers. It says, when Sophie began to date Leon, Frankie warns her not to be lured in by his sensitive and startling blue eyes. Frankie sees a dark side to him, but Sophie is smitten. Soon after this romance begins, 21-year-old Sophie vanishes, last seen at the town's old Victorian pier. 20 years later, Frankie received a call from Sophie's brother, Daniel, informing her that remains have been found near the old pier. Frankie wonders if it could be Sophie and returns to her hometown to finally find closure. Haunted by the familiar faces that filled her youth and threatening notes that allude to past secrets that only Sophie would have known, Frankie begins to think she sees a woman on the pier late at night, a woman who looks just like Sophie. Could she be seeing her friend's ghost? Does someone else know what happened those many years ago? Feeling isolated and unnerved, Frankie begins to wish she hadn't returned. As she looks for emotional support from Daniel, she realizes she may have deeper feelings for him and wonders how her life would have been if she chose to love him instead of the man she married. Falling down a spiral of self-doubt and alcohol-fueled nights, as Frankie gets closer to the truth, she becomes aware that her past secrets coming to light might cost her everything: her family, her sanity, and even her life. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. Once again, there's pretty big words, so I think I can get through it pretty fast. But those are all the books that, at least the physical books I plan to read. I do listen to audiobooks quite often, so I have no idea what I plan on reading, like, audibly. So these are just some things I have set aside that I might read. I don't love TBRs because I am not a, well, here's my TBR stack, I'm gonna read those in that order, blah, blah, blah. I'm very much a mood reader, so like when I finish a book, I just stare at my shelves for like 5 minutes and just see which one speaks to me, which one calls out to me, which one I wanna read next. Or I'll like force my boyfriend to pick a book. I'm like, I don't know what I want to read. Pick one for me. So I hate to say like, oh, these are going to be all the books I read in September. These are the ones I'm hoping to read in September. I may not get to all the ones for the readathon. I may not actually want to read this book after I've read so many thrillers for the readathon. I might listen to more than what I have in this pile. So I don't want people to think I'm going to read. These are things I'm hopefully going to read. So yes, that is all. Thank you so much for joining. See you next time. Bye.